Welcome back to the GameStar Season 2 qualifiers for Heroes of the Storm. We're into Week 5, the very last week of the qualifiers, and this is a Round 3 match between the Lleyton Hewitt fan club and TrumpSports. And it's going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and already we're into the draft as the Malfurion is going to be taken away on the side of the Hewitt fan club. Now we'll have to wait and see what TrumpSports do respond with. But looking at these two teams, they are looking... They're on the upper half of the bracket at least. Hewitt Fan Club and TrumpSports have consistently been at least the third and fourth team each and every week. So they are just a little bit behind those top two. So it's going to be... They've had the chance to make it out of these qualifiers, but even if they do not end up making it through the GameStar qualifiers, there is the secondary qualifier, which they could very well make it to the finals from. So as we're getting further through the draft, the Zaya was banned on the side of TrumpSports, and now it is going to be the Valor first pick on the side of the Hewitt fan club. And TrumpSports do start to lock in a fair amount of wave clear. They've taken away the Gul'dan right away. The Johanna is going to be their warrior of choice to start out this draft. So as mentioned, a lot of wave clear. The Gul'dan can really help out with that. And with this map, the Tomb of the Spider Queen, wave clear does end up taking a fair bit more priority than on other maps, so we'll have to see how the Hewitt fan club do end up responding to that, because the Valor, although she does have a reasonable amount of wave clear with the multi-shot builds, it can't really match up to the amount of wave clear that a Gul'dan can bring. So there's probably going to be other options to work with that, and they're going to lock in their double support right away. They have the Oriole and the Tata, so they are just locking in that super powered trio, pretty much the Holy Trinity. And we'll have to see just how well they play that, because we've seen other teams play a composition similar to that, most notably Nomia being very strong with the Valor, with the double support behind her. We'll have to see if the Hewitt fan club can actually play it, or how well they play it themselves. And now we're into the second round of bans. We'll have to see. I'm very interested to see what TrumpSports do end up banning away, because we already have that very strong trio on the other side, maybe looking towards taking away some of the front line for the Hewitt fan club. Could be one of the options to go with. Whereas on the side of the Hewitt fan club, I have to see if they want to take away some of the higher priority supports for TrumpSports. Maybe take away the Lucio, or even something like the Lieutenant Morales, which can pair quite well with the Gul'dan. But the Yorick ban is going to come out from TrumpSports, not wanting to allow that one through. It can be very good with the double support. Can sustain quite well in these fights. But that is not going to be an option. So we'll have to see what kind of warrior does end up running out that composition for the Hewitt fan club. Because very well just default back to something like a Muradin, or even the ETC, which, even though it has dropped a bit over the past month due to some of the nerfs, the Rockstar changes as well, he is still quite useful, especially when you have a double support composition where he can actually sustain quite well in these fights. But we'll see where they end up going with that. But meanwhile, we're just waiting for this second ban to come out from the Lleyton fan club, and it's looking like they might actually go towards that support. They've already taken away some of the highest priority supports in the game. I think Lucio would be the other one that doesn't or another one of the supports that reaches a priority similar to what Malfurion does these days. But it is going to be the Lieutenant Morales banned away. So I have to see what support ends up being the pick for the TrumpSports. Could very well just go with that Lucio, or even the Rhaegar that was hovered by the Hewitt fan club, but we'll see what is the option. They'll probably want at least another form of damage. Could very well just go with something like the Greymane. Could the burst damage coming out of him could really help deal with this double support composition, because a lot of the time when you're up against the Oriole Tacita duo, if the fights end up extending, it could be very hard to deal with them. The amount of shielding and sustain, the healing coming out, especially if you have a very strong hope generator, which they do with the Valor, that can make a fight go very long. and they can sustain themselves quite well. But it is going to be the Lucio picked up for TrumpSports, and they're also going to be picking up the Arthur. So wanting to deal with that Valor right at the front, and they have pretty much a double armor composition coming out for TrumpSports. They had the Johanna and they had the Arthur, so a lot of armor to deal with that Valor. But I can see if there's going to be another form of damage coming out on the Hewitt fan club, or if they want to pretty much double down on the Valor and just go for a double warrior composition and really put up a solid front line for her to work with. And that is leaving the secondary damage dealer coming out for TrumpSports for the last pick. So they have a lot of, quite a few avenues which they can work with in that regard. They can go towards something like, as I mentioned before, the Greymane. There's even something like a Valera or some kind of assassin. It's actually probably the Cassia picked up on the side of the Hewitt fan club. She is available. She just, even though it's like a couple of hours away from her being technically 2 weeks available, she is going to be available for this week, and she's actually going to be picked up. So very interested to see how this works out on the side of Hewitt fan club. They also finished off their composition with the Stitches, so very interesting. It was looking very standard start there for the Hewitt fan club, but with the Cassia and with the Stitches, well, that makes that composition take a really interesting turn. I'm not sure what the TrumpSports are going to do to combat that, because already they have a very strong, just basis of a composition, a very solid group that they have already. As I see how they finished it off though, but I'm not sure how this is going to work out for the Hewitt fan club. They do have way clear. I'm not sure if the Oriole is going to go for the blinding sweep later on. It's going to be the Tigers as the last pick. As mentioned previously, it has risen in priority recently, even though it did end up getting nerfed a little bit ago. A lot of his damage, well, I think it was the attack range reduction that really hurt him, but people have been picking him back up again and realizing he's still quite strong, and like to see how it ends up being played out in this game. So this is going to be a round 3 match between the Lleyton Hewitt fan club and TrumpSports on Tomb of the Spy Queen, and these are 2 teams that have really made it to the top of the region. They're just a little bit behind the top 2, but have shown strong performances all throughout these qualifiers. To see how they perform here, and it's going to be a good one, I'm pretty sure. So very, very, very excited to see how this turns out. I haven't really had the most amount of exposure to the Cassia so far. I've watched a bit of it here and there, and played it a little bit, but still very, very unsure of how she's going to end up fitting into this composition, because now we have 2 very strong auto attackers to take advantage of the Tastar shielding, and also 2 potential strong hope generators for the Orioles. So we'll have to see how they end up playing with this composition as we're getting onto the map. As we do have on the blue side, it is the Lleyton Hewitt fan club. We have Jaddy on the Valor, Godzilla on Stitches against Time on the Oriole, Vicarak is on the Cassia, and Sharper is on the Tassiter. And on the red side, we have TrumpSports. We have KBA on the Johanna, Lahal on the Gul'dan, Deuces on Arthas, The Shadow on Lucio, and Jinjam is on the Tigers. One thing to note, Vicarak, who is now on the Cassia, was previously just playing the Proby, so the kind of player who really does enjoy playing around with some of the newer heroes, and we'll have to see how he goes with this. He does have the crown from the Orioles, so looking to be the major generator of hope for the Orioles. They do get a hook in onto Deuces, but they don't have the lockdown. It's going to be being returned down onto Jaddy. It looks like they are going to be able to take down the Cassia very low. The shields are starting to come in, as they are going to be able to turn the fight. The double sustain, or the double support, is really paying big right now. It's going to be forced back. It's going to be able to force back the members of TrumpSports. So even though the members of Hewitt fan club do get very low at the start of that fight. The double support did come in huge at the end. The healing started to come in and got able to get that fight turned around really quickly. And good time for them as they aren't going to be able to get priority when it comes to the rotation. Bridge is very aggressive against the members of TrumpSports. He's going to be able to transfer back to the middle lane to try and help out the rest of his team with this push. As mentioned, oh, they do get a whip onto the Lahar. They don't manage to follow up with the lockdown to the blind. It's very good. Vigorang is taking a lot of damage. Isn't able to return any to get the hope generation. The corruption is going to almost take, but it does end up finishing him off. The well was not enough to heal him in time, and that is going to be a kill going over to TrumpSports. The first of the game, and Jetty is going to fall as well. Did not have the healing there in time, and that's a nice 2 kills going over to the side of TrumpSports. Very strong start to the game as they're not going to be able to apply a lot of pressure. On the bottom side of the map, they have their support there, so the Tassadar hasn't been able to help out with that double support composition. In those fights, they're just not able to get the healing there, and it's going to be another kill falling as well. So even though that first fight looked very good for the side of the Hewitt fan club, these fights are going, or these little skirmishes are going very much in favour of TrumpSports. As they do get a nice hook onto the good down, but again, there's just no follow up onto that hook, and in the end, they aren't going to be able to back away as they do just turn a lot of damage down onto Vigorang, who has to back away. The healing is just not with him. As the crown is now onto Jerry. The Valor is going to be the next one to try and bring in a lot of the hope for against time. They be very careful with their rotations. This Stitches, although it can be very good rotation, trying to pick out members of the other squad, and be very careful as he doesn't necessarily have a way of getting out of fights once he's amongst it. He's taken advantage of quite easily, as we do have on the bottom side of the map. Vigorang is going to get engaged on part of Jim Jam. The grenade is going to knock him away from the path he wants to take it. He will get taken down by the overkill. See another one going over to the side of TrumpSports, and already there's a very strong position coming out for the red side, and you can see just how the Hewitt fan club do try and make their way back into this game, because as we saw at the very start of the game, once they have those big 5v5s, they do have the tools available to really get those fights in their favor. They do have to sustain in those very big team fights to end up coming out on top, but you can see if they can actually get to that stage of the game, because right now it looks like TrumpSports are just playing them around the map. They are going to rotate towards the middle line, but so far damage coming out from the Gul'dan is doing a lot of work, but he is going to get getting very aggressive on the Godzilla. He went a little bit too far forward. The healing is starting to come in, but they're not able to help him out in time, so that's going to be another kill going over to side TrumpSports, and now they're getting very aggressive onto Jaddy, who is going to fall. That's another one down. Tesla is going to be taking a lot of damage, but does the eventually shift himself away. Vigorang is now going to be caught out. The shields are there. He's trying to stay trying to survive, but he will fall without taking one down with him. So again, the healing is just not there. They're not able to just play aggressively enough to generate all that hope for the Oriole to get that heal machine going, and the fights are going so well for TrumpSports. That's 7 kills with absolutely no return from the Hewitt fan club. A nice score. Hooks are landing, but there's absolutely no follow-up. They don't have any additional crowd control to follow up on that and secure any of these kills. And I think that might be a bit of a draft error on the side of the Hewitt fan club, which is not able to continue with these fights. Just misses out on the Gul'dan as Jaddy takes a lot of damage, will be forced to back away. But he does manage to get a good amount of damage. The hope is being generated as the guy on the bottom side is coming in onto the fight, but the damage is still being returned. This Gul'dan doing so much work. These spell flames are just doing so much. It's so hard to deal with. The hope is just not coming in time for the Oriole to keep up with the amount of damage that is coming out from the Gul'dan. And already we have the web weavers coming out for TrumpSports, and you can see how the Hewitt fan club can actually deal with this. They do have a little bit of way clear with the Valor and also with the attacker, but he's not in a very good position right now. He's already well over a level behind TrumpSports. You can see how they can actually try and go back in, because they're being spread around the map, but this is not what that composition of theirs wants to do. They want to be in those big 5v5s where they can actually make use of the double support, but right now it's just not panning out for them. They're trying to aggressive on the top side of the map. There's doing a lot of damage down to the two members of Hewitt fan club. It looks like Godzilla's taking very long. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get sustained. The healing's not there. The Stitches falls down, and so many low health bars on the side of the Hewitt fan club. This Gul'dan is doing running an absolute train on to members of the Hewitt. Just look at the damage. That's 31,000 damage already. Only 6 minutes into the game, it's already 31k damage onto that Gul'dan, doing so much work. And they have just hit level 10, and they're looking to work towards his boss. There's just absolutely no position for the Hewitt fan club to actually get in there. They have an idea that it's going on, and I'm not sure if they can actually contest this. Robert is just in the end going to be helping out with that Sidestorm, but the rest of the team on the blue side, they're not able to get up there in time. They're just going to try and get at least some experience around the map. That's going to be a free boss going over to TrumpSports. This is going from bad to worse for the side of the Hewitt fan club. But nice move going down onto the Fowler. The feeling is there, but it's just not enough. Not able to output enough damage to get the hope generation in. And Big Rank is trying to take down the Shadow. He does manage to glide himself away. And in the end, he's just going to fall for it. That's another kill going over to TrumpSports. It's a third, it's a fourth. So that's another 4 kills. And still not a single death on the side of TrumpSports. And they are going to just keep on piling on the pressure. Throughout all of this, the boss was pushing on the top side, and Godzilla on the stitches is not able to clean that up in time. And this is just going to allow TrumpSports to push in, keep on applying the pressure, and keep on extending that experience level that they already have. There's still a little bit of health on the boss. Not even level 10 on the side of the Hewitt fan club. They're not even level 9 at this point. As the Odin does get popped, as the lovely Horrify does separate the team of the Hewitt fan club. They're trying to take down Vicarant as the healing is starting to come in, but nice. Aegis does manage to delay that death long enough that they're able to take down the Johanna, but the fight is still going very much in favour of TrumpSports. Very low health bars on this side of the Hewitt fan club, and let's go around and keep on applying pressure. The Web Weavers are going to come in for TrumpSports. They want to keep on going. The Shadow does get hooked in, but there's no follow-up. Vicarant does go in with the very aggressive maneuver. He's trying to get the damage down. He is going to get healed up by the oil, but he's not able to keep it going. Cassia falls, has a little bit of damage down. And I have to see if Javi is going to be able to fill in for a lot of that damage. Sharper is going to drop very low, but the healing and the shielding is going to be enough to keep him survive. But that is going to be to keep going down. There's a number going down on the Shadow, but again, there's just no fault of CC, so they can't actually lock any of these members down. The hook is pretty much the one tool to drag out the members of the TrumpSports, but they're not able to finish up on that. So in the end, it's going to be one death on the side of TrumpSports, but they take that entire lane of structures. The keeper's fallen down, and they'll be very happy to give that up. They have a 3-level lead right now, and they have the whole map to work with. Very hard to do for the Hewitt fan club to actually get back into this. They've been trying to win some of these team fights, but once one of them gets picked off, the whole group just ends up falling apart. It's a very tight-knit group that needs to work in unison. Sometimes it works, as we saw at the very start of the game, but as it's being picked apart by the TrumpSports, they're taking members one by one, and in the end, it's ends up falling apart. It's going to be scanning ahead to see where the members of Hewitt fan club are, as we do have the camp taken on the bottom side of the map, but they're trying to get aggressive onto the turning point. They do have enough gems for the hand in on the side of the Hewitt fan club. Trying to take down damage. Take a little bit of damage, but he's going to be able to break himself away. But still taking a little bit of damage from the Gul'dan, who's able to spread a lot of damage. As Jay takes a bit. Now, all of this. That was taken very low. The Ace does have to get used, but gets taken down immediately. And that just being a confident as Vicarant is the next target, as they want to take down both of the heavy damage dealers coming out on the side of the Hewitt fan club. A lovely sound barrier does manage to keep Lahal alive. That's going to be another kill. That's both of them damage dealers down. This is going to allow TrumpSports to keep on applying pressure. At least, well, even though it looks like they're not going to be applying pressure, they're going to be returning to the waves and dealing with those. But still, they are just extending their lead. They have denied another hand in for the Hewitt fan club. They still have a lot of those gems in hand, but they're just not able to get in position to actually spend those and get those ready to at least mitigate some of the pressure that's coming out from TrumpSports. But so far, a nice one coming out from Lahal onto Lahal. It looks like they might try and take down the Gul'dan, but the nice Horrify does put the team against time. It's going to be the first target. They do not manage to finish him off, but the Vala does fall. The Gul'dan did go down as well, so in the end, it's going to be a 1-for-1, but members of Hewitt fan club are trying to get forward. Nice. Splits the shield to stop the members going forward, as Juices does get hooked in, but that's not the target you want, as he's able to just get the speed boost from the Shadow to help him back to safety. As Root coming out from Juices doesn't manage to stop that aggression any further, as the grenade goes flying out, but still, and I guess that's about as good a fight as you could expect from the Hewitt fan club. They hooked the Gul'dan and they put everything into finishing him off, but that Horrify managed to delay his death long enough that they were able to at least trade the kill. And once that went down, even though the Gul'dan wasn't there to just pretty much crap out all the damage that he could possibly do, it ended up being quite good for the Hewitt fan club in the end. So if they can get another fight like that, maybe, just maybe, they could start turning this one around. But they've already been put in such a hole, both experience-wise and also just structurally. It's going to be very hard for them to get back into this. They do have the gems to try and get a turn in as a nice condemn going down onto 4 members, as the rest of the team is not there for the TrumpSports. They don't have the healing there just yet. The Shadow is coming in, and he's in level 16 yet, so he doesn't have the massive power spike of his healing. But it looks like the rest of TrumpSports are going to try and delay this, but they've completely juked them on the side of the fan club, and they aren't going to be able to get their hand up. It looks like they wanted to take the fight. Nice Horrify does split up the members of TrumpSports, the fan club. They're going to dropping very low, but the healing is starting to actually come in. Jaddy is going to be doing a lot of damage on the backside, as the Arthas is going to be the first one to fall. KB is very low, as well as the damage is starting to make its way against members of the Hewitt fan club, but in the end, a lot of damage coming out. There's a nice condemn, and they're looking to take down Jaddy, but the healing is there, the shielding is there as well, and they're able to get the fight going quite well. Jim is going to be the next target. Vigoride is going very far forward, but does have the tools to help him out, but in the end, they end up just dropping one by one. See how the Kazan managed to fall at the back of that fight, but in the end, it looked like it was going very well for the Hewitt fan club, but they pushed their advantage a little bit too far, tried to get more than what they should have, and in the end, they end up losing out. From that fight, ended up losing a lot of their members and a lot of the pressure that they could have gained from those web weavers. The one on the top just got completely wrecked thanks to that wave of cannons or the catapults, so they're not able to get any kind of advantage out of that. And right now, level 16 has been gained for TrumpSports. They do have water again, Rejuve and Essentia for the Lucio, so the healing is going to go up incredibly. And now that those web weavers have been dealt with, is there enough gems? There's almost enough gems on the side of TrumpSports, so they can get a web weaver set of web weavers for themselves and maybe even finish off the game with it. Already in a very strong position. They do have the tools necessary to finish this off. Going to be able to grab a bit of offside as well. The medium camp was taken for Hewitt fan club, but this is going to get cleaned up immediately. And we'll have to see how they try and pose up any kind of defense against this push from esports. Behind very fast, very hard, very early on in this game. But they've been starting to get some good fights going for them. The hooks just haven't been able to, they've been trying to work out for them. They've been able to take the hull out of the ship and they've been able to capitalize on that, but with a lot of the hooks, they're just not able to capitalize on it, as they do manage to hook in KDA, and not a target with one, but definitely is going to be doing more working that. And nice condemn goes down to 2, and now the fight is starting off. KDA is going to take a decent amount of damage. The Electro Ball is going to come out, going back between the team members, but Godzilla is going to be taking more damage than he would have wanted. The Archon has to run out. Looks like that nice condemn is almost there, but does manage to, once the shield does knock down several members, the Aegis does have to get popped as the Horrify is going to be used. The damage is going down onto Victor. There's no more Aegis. The healing is just not there just yet. They're trying to take him down as the Oil is going to be the first to fall. Fight is now going very well for the TrumpSports as the healing is now completely negated. The sound barrier has been used and now they're going to push in onto the core. They are going to take down the Katia immediately. Without that healing, they just can't stay around these fights. The balance goes down. That is going to be pretty much the game going over to TrumpSports. They put their opponent behind very early on. It was a bit of an all-in competition for Hewitt fan club. They wanted to get those team fights going. It looked like they were starting to get it. They got that good one at the start, but after that first one, it was just downhill from there. But it was an interesting attempt, but in the end, TrumpSports do end up coming away with the win, so well done to them.